So this for me was unexpected game to come to Steam. And the game was definitely hyped up amongst the Avatar community, which I'm plenty involved in, but when the game was first released last year, it was not available here due to the Ubisoft opposition to launching on Steam due to a supposed unrealistic business model. So I guess they all come crawling back at some point. In this sense, welcome back Ubisoft. Was it worth all the hype? Let's see. Let's tell about the goods. Astounding world detailing. Pandora is not an empty place here, it's an extremely detailed, almost exclusively so, not just in the visual department and leveraging new technology to flesh out the graphics as much as possible, but also in the ecology. Avatar has always been one of those series where you could help deep dive into water building and not get bored, and this is another great example. Most open world games these days feel rather empty. Avatar definitely does not feel empty at all. I spent a lot of time just wandering and not getting bored, couple that with a gigantic map size. It also does an excellent job of leveraging new creatures and environment designs into the franchise as well as catching up people unfamiliar with the first film, as the events are mentioned several times. Even just minor details, down to NPCs talking out about your character's antics, is a big selling point of this game. Hats off to the artists and the Massive and the Lightstorm. Optimization. While isn't anything amazing, is still pretty great, considering this game comfortably be run 1440p on my nearly 7 years old computer at a decently playable frame rate and not at the absolute lowest settings, which still looks solid by the way. Heck, it's probably the best optimized game I've played in a long time, and it ran even better on the hardware it's designed for. The game feels like a weird hodgepodge between the Far Cry Primal and Crysis to me. Well, like Crysis, but without the suit. While it's a quite power fantasy experience, enemies are equally as damaging you, and I actually quite like it. The hunting and general resource gathering absolutely nailed. A simple concept of getting better material for clean kills and perfect harvests that's executed beautifully. The neutral. I definitely feel that the skill system is extremely one-dimensional. I had to compare it to Cyberpunk, which has replayability solely based on the fact that you encourage to try different builds. Avatar has absolutely none of that. It's not badly designed, however, I like the way we actually have to explore to get them. Gunplay isn't super special, even if a kill feels good. I'm not one to complain about lack of guns in the game, where we're playing as a race primarily known for using bows. We rarely hear any spoken Navi throughout the game despite Paul Fromm's name making it into the credits. Just worth noting that, as it might be a big immersion breaker for some die-hard fans. Some of the outposts feel pretty samey, although I'm willing to ignore that one of the bases of it not really being the main activity of this game, compared to Far Cry. About the bad. Questionable narrative decisions. I get that the Avatar is always a bit of those about environmentalism. I mean, the reason why the original film narrative was written in such way because of what's going on the Amazon, but this game takes the creativity away from expressing these more sensitive topics and makes them feel far more forced. This might be easier for me to ignore this is a problem just because I enjoy the film franchise so much, but it seriously might turn off the other people from playing. Poorly designed antagonist. The antagonist is highly one-dimensional. TLDR, he's just a very greedy and just wants, well, it just feels extremely shallow. Very badly written dialogue. Some of the main character dialogue in this game is a lot of fact in it. It's quite poorly written, some of it downright cringe degree that I found myself skipping the cutscenes most of the time. And now about the ugly. Requires the absolute trash tier Ubisoft launcher. Over 10 years later they still insist of using their proprietary garbage. De Nuvo Anti-Temper. Microtransactions in a single player game. Now I know they're just cosmetic, but come on. And the final verdict. While the game itself is serviceable and solved overall, it's marred by lots of the disgusting quadruple A Ubisoft particles, and for that reason my scores heavily skewed down. For a friendly reminder, Ubisoft has also told us we should get comfortable with the not owning our games. so I felt reluctant to give them any money. However, I picked this up for a 40% discount, so it was absolutely worth it for the purely gameplay. But all the full $70 price, unless you're itching for eye candy and to have a game with Avatar name on your catalog, it's going to be very dull. So, and I actually might just recommend skipping or avoiding. Final score 6.5 out of 10. A decent, sometimes great overall experience, marred heavily by the publisher. So thank you guys for watching this game review, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and see you in the next reviews.